And what we're going to do is we're going to go to more, and then we're going to click on the Tableau workbook that we had saved our data to, and click OK. Once we do that, and this is what you'll see here on the left side, so you're going to start seeing some information about your tables. And essentially we only have one table. This is a flat file, right? So we're going to have one table, and then we have it's broken up by, it'll show you like a number will be represented with number sign, ABC will represent, write some description. So, and it tries to associate, so let's take a look at this. Total pay, base salary. So this is, let's see if we can, for text tables. Okay, so let's take in agency name. And so this is a sheet. So we have a sheet here, pages. Let's say we want agency name. Nope. This is a sheet, so we're going to want agency name, let's say on the left hand side here. We're going to click agency name. So what happens with Tableau and some of these other products is that they're going to take the data that you've provided, and they're going to have to like cache it in memory. So if you're dealing with a large file like we are today, it may take some time for it to cache the data. Okay, it's done that. It's cached the data. What I find interesting here, so we have agency name, and a lot of these look duplicated. So let's see what is going on here. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna actually make it a column to see if it's a little bit easier for me to figure out. And I've actually just filtered by double clicking. I've filtered that column. I can remove the column. I filtered that column, and I wanted to just see what the different things are. So Board of Corrections. That's Board of Corrections, and this is Board of Corrections. So this is going to be common with data, right? So you have Board of Election, and then you have Board of Election poll workers. Let's put that again in rows. So these are all distinct values, but they are very close. So Bronx Community Board 1, 2, 3, and so forth. So let's say we wanted to, let's say, look at the regular gross base salary. So we're going to take base salary and we're going to add that to the column. So we're going to, and it goes to sum, right? So it actually tries to aggregate this information. It's smart enough to say, oh, this is an aggregation of information, but I don't want it to sum the information. That makes no sense. So really what I wanted to do is I wanted to average that information. So if we start typing, we can actually change that to average. And now I get an average. So I can see what the average base salary is for each of these areas. Right, so that's one simple thing we can do. We can actually, because we have this sort of data represented, what Tableau does on the right hand side here is it actually tells us, okay, based on like the data that you've imported, you can actually do a number of different things. You can actually use any of these charts. Right now we're using the horizontal bars, and this one is also recommended. So we can click on it and like, okay, that doesn't make sense. Let's click on something else. Okay, so this is interesting. This is like a heat map. So, and we can see like the average base salary in a heat map sort of way. Okay, that's interesting. What's this? I don't know. That's probably not that interesting. Okay, this is what is this called? It's not a. It's sort of like a heat map, but this is called highlight tables. And we have heat maps over here in a different way. And then we have text tables, right? So just plain old text. So this is really simply one of the things you can play with this data. And then we could go back to our normal setup here. And we see it's the same data represented in different ways. And there might be other ways we want to represent this data, like this. Okay, this is interesting. So this is average base pay, and then the agency. So we don't have the agency information here, which we might want. So this is an interesting start to leveraging some of that data.